This week on the Jock and Nerd podcast, we review the John Wick spin-off Ballerina. Plus, we take a look at July's big box office showdown between Jurassic World, Rebirth, Superman, and Fantastic Four First Steps and try to determine who will win the month. We got new trailers for Marvel's Ironheart and the Alien Earth TV series and more, all in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Monday, June 9th, 2025.
This is Frank Grillo. You know me. But who are you? Are you the discerning, sophisticated type of person who enjoys all the latest comic book and superhero TV and movie news? Pop culture references, witty banter? Me neither. I'm just here for the dick jokes.
Check. Check one. All right. This is for all you fans out there. Let's give it up! We talk it, we nerd it. We funny, disturb it. We talk it, we nerd it. We spoiler alert. Oh yeah!
Oh, what is up, listener? Thank you for pressing play and welcome to the Jock and Nerd podcast, where we give you comic book and superhero TV and movie news, reviews, and whatever we choose. Jock and Nerd. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the nerd.
And joining us, he came prepared. He's wearing his tutu, and his toes are bleeding, but I think that's from the gout, if anything. They call him Baba Yaga Booey, but we call him Rug Boy. What's up, Rugs?
Baba Booey to you all.
And you see him, you got to yell Baba Yaga Booey.
Yeah, you have to say Howard Stern's penis, Baba Yaga Booey.
There we go. We get the penis reference right in the first minute. Well done. Contract.
Yeah, now we'll never get monetized. It's fine.
Who needs it?
We've been doing it, no money for 10 years. It's fine.
Anthony's joining us from the call center in India again. How's the weather over there?
Thank you very much.
Don't do that. You will insult all of our Indian listeners. There's a billion of them out there.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I love India. India is a great country. It's one of the best countries in the world. We're going to make a great deal with that country.
Great. We love the country. We love Indian food. Listen.
We love Indian food, and we like the way it makes my poop come out. It's great.
Look, I grew up on Indian food, and it's my favorite cuisine from all the nation's cuisines I've tried.
Really?
Yeah. Indian food's the best. It's just got the most spice that makes you feel alive. It shoots out your asshole. What other food does that?
I don't know. I mean, Mexican food.
Mexican food, yeah.
Yeah, but there's something about the combination of spices.
Okay.
And saffron. I don't know. Anyways, this isn't an Indian food recipe podcast. We're going to talk about some fun things. We have an action movie to review, fellas, and some other news and trailers to discuss. Let's get started.
The Jock and Nerd podcast.
So, we are a few weeks from a huge July movie release event schedule, as we are going to get 3 big blockbusters, 3 big franchises, and 3 reboots, all coming out in July. So I thought it is time for us to make some predictions. Let's do this. It is time for a box office showdown. How about that? It's so dramatic.
I like the music.
That's going to be the best part of this segment, by the way.
That's the 80 that originated from the 80s action movie tournament.
Yes. It's I got to reuse the stinger. Anyways, what movies am I talking about? Of course, Jurassic World Rebirth, Fantastic Four, and Superman. By the time you hear this, tickets will be on sale for all 3 movies. And there are early box office projections. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to set up the movies. We're going to look at the early projections. We're going to look at some comps and discuss. And I want all of us to kind of finish with some concrete predictions on what we think is going to happen. Who wins July? So we talked last week. Let's start with Jurassic World Rebirth. We did talk about this a little bit last week. What does it have at stake? What does it have going for it? Of course, there's dinosaurs and nostalgia. Is there anything else, fellas?
ScarJo.
It's got Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali, a new cast of characters.
It's got a strong female lead.
She kicks ass. ScarJo can kick ass. We've seen her
All
kick
right.
ass.
So you got that.
Yeah, I mean, you got big dinosaurs, and people like. It's been proven that people enjoy dinosaurs. So
You can't bet against the dinosaurs. Now, we did discuss last week, like how the box office slowly getting smaller, but each movie's still making $1 billion. So this will be interesting. I believe this one, it looks like it's more of a horror tone, and they may have scaled back the budget a little bit because of the diminishing returns. But you can't bet against the dinosaurs, right?
are we? I have a clarifying question on the rules of this.
Yes.
Are we doing domestic or
Just
worldwide?
domestic opening weekend is the number I want to focus on.
All right.
Yeah, because there's so many things. Will it make $1 billion? Will it do world? No. We're going to focus just domestic opening weekend. Who wins? Who gets the biggest opening weekend out of this month? Because they come out so close to each other. Yeah,
This is tough because Jurassic World comes out on a Wednesday.
correct. This is the one thing that throws kind of all this out of whack. They're cheating. Jurassic World is a July 2nd Wednesday release ahead of the July 4th weekend.
So, with that in mind, I say we change the rules on the fly because the opening weekend comp will not be valid.
I mean, I have a 5-day number and a 3-day number.
But I also think that because it's coming out July 4th weekend, people are going to be getting drunk and blowing up their hands with,
They love to do
fireworks
that.
and shit.
Yeah.
So they won't be able to go to the movies. They'll be too busy slinging burgers.
They have that extra day, so
Yeah, they're kind of cheating. All right, no, that's a good point. And I wasn't sure, but I do have a 5-day projection and kind of a 3-day projection
all right.
when we get to the numbers. Moving on, let's talk about Fantastic Four. What's at stake here? This is a kind of a reboot. It's a new cast of characters.
Yeah.
It's a new tone for these movies.
Right.
Expectations are pretty high. Pre-sales, they just started this week, and there's a trailer we'll talk about. But Fandango was saying they had the best single-day pre-sale for Fantastic Four, which is interesting. What else they got at stake here, fellas?
Well, they need this. This is the last movie other than Spider-Man before Doomsday, so
Yeah.
and this is the one that probably will directly tie into Doomsday, so they need this to do well to build hype for the movie that has everyone in it.
To keep the momentum going. Yeah, I mean,
Correct.
yeah. And Doom is, whether he's in a post-credit scene, maybe, or a mention, he is tied to the Fantastic Four.
Dr. Doom, sure.
I mean, going back to that post-credit scene in Thunderbolts, there's been more speculation. And I even think Kevin Feige was like, I don't know if that's the same ship. If you compare logos, it could be what we talked about, like, did Doom steal it? Did somebody else steal it? Is it another whole reality team from another universe? Someone did point out the 4 on that ship matches more the Fox Fantastic Four logo than the new Marvel Fantastic Four logo. I was like, I didn't even notice that. It's interesting. And then let's move on. Just set up Superman. Probably the movie that has the most writing on it out of these 3. Would you guys?
I would agree.
What are some of those things, Anthony?
This is James Gunn's unofficial debut as DC head of creative with the movies. You know, he did Suicide Squad, but that not everything was in place like it is now. It is DC, other than Batman, DC's flagship character, but unlike Batman, DC's flagship character that really hasn't hit the heights that it should be hitting.
Yeah.
Especially when you compare it to your Spider-Mans or Batmans, things like that. So this is the start of the new universe in a time when superhero movies probably aren't at the same heights they used to be. So he's trying to launch something in a recession for superhero movies. So yeah, it's all riding on this, in my opinion.
I mean, I don't think it's exaggeration to say I think people's jobs are on the fucking line.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
With this movie.
You're trying to launch a new universe and a whole thing, and people don't like the smell of this. It's going to be rough.
They need it to be good. I don't know if they necessarily need it to make a lot of money, but they need it to be good.
Oh, they needed to make a lot of
and
money.
they needed to make a lot of money.
They need both.
And it's also, like you said, launching this. I think it's going to guide all these projects coming up, like the Batman 2 and whatever else, where they pull the trigger on some more projects. But it's all going to be based on how this movie is going to play out. And then I've heard some things about the reshoots. Remember, there was rumors about how it was structured like episodically, like it was like day by day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That was going to be the flow. Apparently that they've removed that. And now it's like a normal single narrative. So I thought that was interesting. And the budget of this one, also the highest out of all of them. Some people reporting up to $400 million, including marketing costs. So they need to make so much money to break even on this fucking Superman movie.
I read 700 million is
the fucking break. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's just the fucking break even.
Ooh, that hurts.
Yeah, that's going to be. Did you see those character posters, by the way, that came out? Real colorful. I really, the one that stuck out was the fucking Metamorpho one. It's comic accurate. If that's all practical effects and prosthetics, like it looks great.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Anthony, you see those posters?
No, I didn't.
They're just like character posters with the colorful red, white, and blue background. But they're fun.
Like a rainbow colors.
Yeah, it's like a rainbow gradient blur thing that's happening in all of them. But the Metamorpho one, I was like, holy shit, look at fucking Anthony Kerrigan. Looks just like Metamorpho. All right, so let's get into these predictions. Here are the numbers I've kind of gathered from the internet. Jurassic World Rebirth. Again, we said July 2nd, Wednesday. The 5-day projection is at two ranges. One has it at 116 million to 135 million for the 5-day. But another place has it as high as 165 million to 185 million range. And then I saw the 3-day around 100 million. So those 2 days are adding that much. All right. Superman. So that has like a week before Superman comes out July 11th. That one projected 155 to 175 million dollar opening weekend. It's very big. And unfortunately, it's sandwiched in the middle. It has maybe another 10, 12 days before Fantastic Four comes out, July 25th. This one projected open 125 to 136 million. All right. So here's some comps I think we can look at. The last Jurassic Park movie, Dominion, opened at $145 million in 2022. All right. For Superman, it's not as clear what to look at. Man of Steel back in 2013 opened at 116 million. Their biggest opening for any DC movie, still Batman versus Superman, 166 million. That's still in that range of the early projection. But if you look at the last two movies, the end of the last DC universe that was a bomb in June 2023 in December, The Flash opens to 55 million, Aquaman 2 27 million, and then it's dead. So that's where we left off there. And with Fantastic Four, I think the best thing is to look at the last two Marvel movies, because that's how these movies work in terms of momentum. Captain America 4 opens to 88 million opening weekend. Thunderbolt 74 million opening weekend. Now, with all that said, how about some analysis? Anthony.
Yes.
What do you think is going to happen? What film do you think all these films crack $100 million?
Yes.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I think they all crack 100 million. I think of the three, I think Superman will make the most money in its domestic run.
In 3 day. Okay.
Well, not in the 3 day. I'm not comparing it because it's not it's not the same comparison.
That's true. Okay.
I think Superman will make the most worldwide. I also think probably Superman. I think if there's one that will flop, it'll be Rebirth, because the reason I say that is Rebirth has had, while it's made $1 billion every year, the new Jurassic World franchise has made $1 billion. It's been going down in terms of revenue. So I think that one, it doesn't have the nostalgia play that you said, because we just saw these movies. Whereas Superman, it's a new thing. they're really hyping up the nostalgia, even though we did see Henry Cavill not that long ago. And then Fantastic Four is a new franchise for Marvel, so I think those two will do well as long as the movie does well. I don't think of the three, I don't think Jurassic World is going to be any that.
I mean, I was thinking how Dominion, they got so desperate by the end of that sequel trilogy. They're like, we're bringing back Sam Neill and Laura Dern and Jeff Goldblum. And then they made a movie about grasshoppers. Still made $1 billion, but that probably helped that $145 million.
I'm going to come in on the opposite side of Anthony and say that Jurassic Park is going to make the most money. I think that it's bulletproof. You can make a movie about bugs and people will still watch this shit.
Yeah. And
I think the fact that it's going more horror might bring some horror people into the fold.
Yeah.
And so I don't, and Scarlett Johansson is a kind of a fresh face for this franchise. Even though they're doing the whole old playbook, it doesn't seem to stop people from seeing these movies. I feel like it's bulletproof. The fact that they're putting all these mutant dinosaurs in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know if it's going to make $1 billion, but it'll make 600. It'll break 600, I think, for sure.
Okay, so take that aside. Superman, Fantastic Four, which one opens bigger?
Oh, Superman's going to, I think Fantastic Four is going to flop.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. That's my gut feeling is it's going to flop. Unless it's an amazing film. I think that there's more James Gunn heads than the guy who's directing Fantastic Four.
So that's a good point. You don't think the good word of mouth from Thunderbolts, though, will do anything?
Thunderbolts flopped.
I mean, financially, yeah. I think they're going to lose $100 million. But people liked the movie.
Yeah, but I mean, that's not a lot of people went to go see it.
That is
so
true.
What does that? Nobody cares.
Yeah.
I mean, we could talk about the movie we're going to talk about. Same thing.
Yeah.
We liked it, but no one going to see it.
Yeah.
So,
wow, Fantastic Four flop.
I feel like Fantastic Four is going to flop, but it's going to marginally flop. I feel like it's going to it'll break 100 opening week, but it's going to trail off really quickly with all the other competition.
It's so crazy because, like, right now the biggest opening weekends we've had where Minecraft was like 168, and then Lilo and Stitch was like a 183. But if you have 3 movies that open over 100 million in a month, like 3 weeks in a row, like I want it. That's great, but like we haven't seen that in a long time.
I feel like the first one to come out was Jurassic, right?
Yes.
So it's going to have no competition. It's going to fucking destroy.
Right.
Then you got who's next?
Superman, July 11th. So this order is important. Yes.
So Superman, there's going to be people who haven't seen Superman yet that might want to choose that over Fantastic Four. So I don't know. It's going to have stiff competition at that point. So yeah, I feel like they're going to, all 3 of them are going to be fighting for that money.
That's what I'm thinking is how much can it affect?
One of them is going to get the pull. Like as soon as one of them has like really bad press or there's bullshit.
The thing is, if they're all good and like Jurassic World's great, Superman is great, people are going to come back. And
I think Jurassic World is going to be the worst movie, but it's going to make the most money.
So now here's what I think. I kind of agree with Ruggs. I think Jurassic World's going to overperform. I think it's going to surprise us, as these dinosaur movies tend to do. And
it's an easy sell.
Yes,
that's why.
And it's first, and it is 4 quadrant as fuck. I mean, all of them are really. But it's, what's bigger awareness globally or domestically, Superman or dinosaurs? Arguably, it's going to be dinosaurs. But then I think Superman edges out Fantastic Four. I don't think Fantastic Four flops. I just think it slightly underperforms. But I think Superman will have quite a big opening weekend that will surprise us.
I feel like Superman will do okay.
Yeah.
I just think that Jurassic's gonna have a bigger opening. I think it's got there's nothing blocking it. It's got nothing to stop it. It's got the bigger weekend. It's got the longer weekend. So I don't know. I feel like if it doesn't do well, I'll be surprised, and anything could happen.
It's got Black Widow fighting dinosaurs. I mean,
anything could happen.
Yeah.
Reviews could come out and destroy it. I don't know if there's anything being said at this point because it's too early, but.
So does Superman beat Man of Steel opening at 116.
Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be the biggest Superman open ever.
The biggest Superman opening ever. Okay, interesting.
Well, Batman versus Superman, that's got Batman in it. I don't count that.
Yeah.
Like solo Superman.
And I do think Fantastic Four will be Marvel's biggest opening out of the 3 movies. So, which is like, it went down, but it could go back up. I don't know. It's very exciting. Where are your guys? So those are, I think we've given our predictions. Very good. We'll see. Maybe somebody will win something.
You
you
can win something?
A no prize. You'll win a fake prize. But I feel like this is a huge July. I can't think of the last time 3 big movies are coming out so close to each other.
It's cool.
It's going to be a good time. Anthony, what is your most anticipated then? Now, as we
Of those 3?
Yeah, as we get closer.
It flips back and forth for me between Superman and Fantastic Four. I'm going to lean towards Superman just because Superman is a character that, well, I've been more of a Batman guy. I appreciate Superman, and I really want to see a good Superman movie, and I think James Gunn is an interesting choice for that.
Yeah.
So I want to see what that looks like.
Yeah.
But you ask me on another day, and if I see a good trailer on Fantastic Four, I can be convinced that Fantastic Four is what I want to see.
I'm with you right now. For me, it's also Superman because, like, you kind of know what you're going to get with Marvel and Fantastic Four and the look they're going, right?
Yeah.
Like, I hate to back up James Gunn, but I mean, I like James Gunn, but like, I feel like at least this Superman movie feels like it's a fresh movie. Yeah. Like, how many times have we seen Fantastic Four? We've even seen the Fantastic Four with the Silver Surfer, Silver Surfer and Galactus.
Yes.
So, Jurassic Park, we're just rinsing and repeating. Yeah. So, they threw some monsters in there, but they kind of had them with the Indominus Rex and all that other shit. So, Superman, you're seeing bad guys you haven't seen before.
Yeah.
You're seeing a new take on it. So, I hope that amount of freshness and the fact that it's Gunn,
there's a lot going on.
Yeah, makes people show up to the theater.
Yeah, I mean, Superman can't get you to show up. I don't know what can anymore. So.
It feels the freshest out of everything.
Yeah. Even though the Fantastic Four feels fresh for Marvel, but it still seems like it will have
there was 3 other movies.
There was, they've done this 3-4 times. Roger Corman movie, the Tim Story movies, the fucking other guy. What was that dude's name? Shit. I can't remember. And he had his movie redone halfway. Anyways. All right. Good predictions. Listener, you can join this conversation. Let us know what you're expecting most. And what movie do you think has the biggest opening weekend? Who wins July? You can find us on X or Instagram or join our Facebook group. It's called Jock and Nerd Nation. Jock and Nerd. There's links to all of that in the episode description. The Facebook group is a private, closed group just for you, listener. Take advantage of it. And
go there and chat about us.
Chop it up, geek out. We would love to geek out with you over there. Okay, I got a couple of trailers here. Let's start with the one I just mentioned. Fantastic Four. Tickets are on sale. I bought my tickets. It was kind of filling up. Anthony, you bought your tickets. Was it filling up when you went to pick tickets?
Yeah, so I'm going to be in San Diego for that. So I'm seeing it there.
That's right. That's right.
And to get some decent tickets, we had to do a 10 o'clock showing on a Thursday.
10 a.m.?
p.m.
Yeah. Oh, p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And it's weird because this could be no Marvel Hall H or even DC Hall H, but you'll get to see Fantastic Four. So this is a short one. They show you a couple of new things. Anthony, what'd you think of this tickets on sale trailer for Fantastic Four?
Not really anything. I mean, it looks fine. It looks good. These tickets on sale trailers don't ever really do much for me.
They used to be like big trailers, sometimes, and now they're just kind of recycled things.
The last tickets on sale trailer that I liked was the Avengers Endgame one.
Oh,
that was also because I was just so hyped for that
a while
movie.
Ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bruggs, what about you? Look, we learned a couple of things. I'm pretty sure she's having the baby in this movie, so expect a whole crazy birthing scene where probably something crazy is happening.
Yeah, it seems like they're putting Sue Storm in the front.
I think it's her. Like, she's the leader. She may be our point of
So
view.
is she a strong female lead?
She may be the voice that we are going with, and she's our perspective. That's all right.
Ooh. Okay.
You hear Johnny say, "Is it clobbering time?" So that was kind of geek boner.
Geek boner.
And you see a little more of the fantastic car flying around. I really think they're going to minimize like Reed's powers in this because you can't make it look cool.
He's going to be really floppy.
No, you can't make it look cool. I guarantee he barely uses it only when it's necessary because it's just, you can't make it look good. You can't.
It's not very, I don't know. I don't know about you, but this is not, nothing I'm seeing is really exciting.
No, you don't like the little banter between Johnny and Reed?
Well, I feel like
suits?
I feel curious to see the movie.
Yeah.
So I'm not like disinterested in the film. Nothing's impressing me where I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing really doing that.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Nothing's eliciting excitement from me.
Sure. Oh, I get that. But I have my tickets, so that's all that's important.
That's all that matters. You have your tickets.
Yes.
I will not buy tickets until like a week before.
Good. There's not going to be any seats left, Rex.
There's plenty of seats.
Because of your waiting, you're either going to sit in front of
that's the worst.
a bunch of 11-year-olds, or you're going to sit next to a large guy that's crying during the movie. So,
or
this
both.
is on you. Yeah.
Or sandwich between the two, which is probably what's going to happen.
Well, listen, I pick the same seat every time. I sit in the same exact seat every time.
I don't do that. That's interesting. That never occurred to me.
I have my seat that I usually get it 9 times out of 10.
That's interesting. Yeah, I just kind of pick random every time. I don't know why. I'm just like,
I always have an aisle seat. So if I need to go to the bathroom, I don't have to bother anybody. And I run out. I usually am a few seats up towards so I can get to the center of the screen. And that's it. I usually sit in the same spot every time. Never in the back, never in the front, always in that sweet spot.
Okay.
Where do you sit, Imran?
I like middle back. It's kind of the sweet spot, I think, where you get the best sound.
I usually do. If I'm at a theater that I know is going to be popular, I'll try to sit middle back. Otherwise, if I'm like at a AMC that I know is pretty dead, I'll just sit in the corner.
Oh, in the corner, like all the way back? Are you like all the way back guy?
Almost all the way back, yeah. Just so I can get out whenever I want. No one's bothering me. I can pull out my phone and it won't bother anybody.
And you can see everything going on in case shit goes down or whatever.
Right.
That's a good point. I never go all the way in the back. I don't know why. I like middle back, but all the way in the back makes the most sense.
Do you go in and how much do you stink more of cigarettes or marijuana when you go into the movie theater?
That's a really good question, actually, because it's like probably
both.
No, it's probably cigarettes because now I got vape sticks and they don't smell. Like you don't smell it anymore because of the vaping technology. But old school smokies are still gonna linger in the air.
You still walk in like you smelling like a chimney. Every time
but it doesn't matter because everybody brings popcorn and ends up smelling like feet anyways. Like the whole place smells like somebody took their shoes off. Just because of the popcorn. I don't know why popcorn.
He hates popcorn.
No, I'll eat popcorn. But popcorn does not remind you of like if everybody took their shoes off smell? That's what it reminds me of sometimes.
Wait, you think popcorn smells like feet?
Yes. Essentially, yes.
I've literally never heard that in my life.
Okay. Maybe dog's feet.
Sometimes. Also, when I go into a bookstore, the smell of paper makes me want to take a shit. Anybody else? Is that just me? Is that just me? It's a trigger. I don't know. That doesn't happen to anybody else?
Everything makes me want to
And then
shit.
I take the book into the bathroom, and then it's flagged, and I can't return it. And it's an episode of Seinfeld. Okay, anyways. This next trailer.
You have to buy it
now I got to buy. I didn't mean to grab this history of fashion from France.
Well, speaking of stuff that you used to wipe your ass, let's talk about this next trailer.
Are we going to wipe our ass with Marvel's Ironheart TV show coming out June 24th? They put out a second trailer. New footage, a little more story, a little more Alton Ehrenreich, a little more about Riri Williams and her stepdad and like break it down to build it up again. Little bit more about the magic ruins in the heads-up display of her suit. That's kind of interesting. And then at the end, a reveal that she has an AI assistant that's like a hologram girl. Rugs, you gonna wipe your ass with this? This one, it made it look a little bit better. I don't know.
Until I saw the AI.
Until you got to the AI.
Until I saw this very, very stupid AI. I don't even know. It's better when it's just a voice. As soon as you put like a body to it,
Yeah.
it's weird. And it just, if it was an older person, maybe, or
sure. Yeah.
it just seems weird that it would be like a young person.
It's like a friend of hers.
Yeah, I feel like that's weird. I don't know. It's kind of sad. Anyway, it's like it's double insertion, double self insertion. That sounds pornographic, like porno. Yeah, it was fine. You know, I liked parts of it, but the AI I did not like.
Anthony, what do you think? You got Anthony Ramos as the Hood and magic and all this weird stuff.
Yeah, you know, I mean, the trailer looks, like Rugg said, I think it looks fine. My complaint with this would be these 6-episode series have never really worked for Marvel for the most part.
Yeah.
They're often either they're too long to be movies, but they're too short to be really TV series, so they're just stuck in this middle ground.
Yep.
Which makes things just a little bit more bloated.
Yeah.
You throw in a character that to me isn't that interesting right now. And and the fact that Marvel delayed this for so long, and they're seemingly, I think they're going to dump this in 2 shots. I think 3 episodes once and then 3 episodes the week after.
Okay, yeah. I don't know what they're doing with the remaining 3, but that would make sense. They could just do 3 weeks and get it done with. But
yeah, I just get the sense that they want to get this out as soon as possible and move on. So that just doesn't inspire confidence for me in this.
But I feel like they want to keep Riri Williams around. Maybe they have something for her planned in the future, and I don't know. It is a young Avenger they can use. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna watch it. It looks decent. It just looks okay, but it looks like a capable show. So we'll see if the writing's good. Okay, finally, let's talk about this last one. Another TV trailer, but this one is really quite fascinating, and it is for the Alien Earth TV show on FX from Noah Hawley. We have our first trailer highlighting a bunch of cool things, like perhaps a look at the origin of the synthetic androids we know from the Alien franchise. They mention 5 other alien species that are on the ship that crashes. That's fucking crazy. Anthony, let's start with you. What do you think about this show after this trailer? What'd you like?
Well, I mean, I'm always going to be curious about anything alien. The production value doesn't look too far down from what you would get in a movie, so that's interesting. Bringing the alien on Earth, but also a future Earth, is a little bit interesting because that almost defeats the purpose of having aliens on Earth, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because what everyone seems to be clamoring to see, other than in the Alien v Predator movies, is what would the aliens look like around us now? And if you stick it in a future Earth, then it becomes something that's doesn't feel familiar, which is the whole appeal of the show. So I'm curious how that plays out. I am not as confident in the Alien franchise as I am in the Predator franchise right now. So
interesting.
I don't know. Yeah, I am mixed on this. I think it looks fine. It looks pretty good, actually. TV show Alien, I want to see what I don't really know what to expect, so we'll just have to see.
So that date 2120 is 2 years before the first movie, Alien. So you see, kind of, they have the Nostromo and the ship that looks just like the Nostromo in these rooms. Ruggs, I think this looks great. Does it give you geek boner?
Geek boner.
Yeah, it's weird when they make a show about something that you do not want them to make a show about. I'm against this show.
Yeah.
I fucking don't want this show to happen. But now I see the trailer and I'm like, oh, I can watch this
Yeah.
because it looks cool.
It looks good.
And I hate that. I'm conflicted because I don't want this show. I don't like the very concept of the show offends me.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm like, I'm curious to watch it. So I'm in conflict. I'm like, it's just like they should make a show that takes place before the first Alien.
With the alien on Earth.
With
That's
Alien
never
on
been
Earth.
mentioned.
I feel like, no, that ruins the whole thing.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, the whole thing is that they're surprised by this shit.
yeah. Out in
If this would
space.
have happened on Earth before, like, then they would have been prepared.
Right.
You would think, right?
No, I would agree. Like, they were never meant to be on Earth. You're right. They went out into space and they came across this fucking terrifying species.
Yeah, you wouldn't do that. And that's why everybody hated Prometheus, because it kind of fucked with the continuity and all that stuff. So this is doing that, and it's upsetting. But I have to hand it to Noah Hawley that this shit looks good.
Yeah, he is really good, and I think he can pull it off, and hopefully give it a good enough reason.
See what happens.
This stuff is happening.
You could easily get me into a compromised position if you make your fucking movie look amazing, or your show look like it's worth $1 million.
Yeah.
Now, is it going to be worth watching? Who knows? If we watch it and it's fucking boring as fuck, and they're just, nothing really happens, then that'll be a different story.
I mean,
right now it looks great.
There's xenomorphs in here. How much we'll see, I don't know. And then this whole idea of the creation of these synthetics, how it started, I was like, oh, that's fucking interesting too. So no, I'm in. Noah Hawley, he knows his shit. August 12th will be the premiere of Alien Earth. Can't wait. All right, let's take a break here, fellas. I'm gonna play some promos. We're gonna come back, talk about Jane Wick. Do it. Ballerina right after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
What's up? This is Brian, and I'm the host of Citizens of Pawnee, a Parks and Recreation podcast. That's right, a podcast dedicated to my favorite TV show, Parks and Rec. Every week I discuss my favorite things about the show, which include character breakdowns, episode rewatches, and other random facts and tidbits about the show. You can find me on Instagram at Citizens of Pawnee Podcast and listen wherever you get your podcast now. You will literally love it.
What's up, Jock and Nerd Nation? This is Logan at Mostly Superheroes, a podcast that was partly inspired by the Jock and Nerd podcast. We talk about a lot of the same stuff, MCU, DC heavy, with other content that comes out of HBO Max, Amazon Prime, Netflix, and more. We're committing to doing something new every day in 2021, so come join the fun, check out the schedule. Find us at mostlysuperheroes.com and enjoy the rest of the show.
Jock and Nerd.
Listener, if you enjoy this show, this week actually is a really good time to join our Patreon fan club. Visit jockandnerd.com/Patreon.
Jock and Nerd.
And you can give back and support the show, and you get stuff like bonus content served from an exclusive RSS feed where the shows come out early. There's lots of bonus content out there, little mini reviews, post shows we're doing. This week, unexpectedly, the most reviews we got are from fucking Anthony Polanski over here.
Oh, shit.
I'm back, baby.
Yeah, just wait till we get to What Are We Watching? The man who's always never watching anything's got a ton of shit to talk about.
So now he's like you, watching too many shows in 1 week.
Yes, well, yes. We have a fun experience we shared. There's also Patreon.
Oh, God.
Audio.
Don't you tease it like that.
that?
A fun experience that we shared.
We went on a little
Ooh.
date. Talk about that later. Anyway,
I want to know all about this. Yeah.
you can listen to all of it on the Patreon. We will discuss it in What Are We Watching? You can also join us for our monthly Discord hangouts. This month it will happen on June 19th, Thursday evening. And you can pick a movie for us to review, get a t-shirt, lots of fun stuff on the Patreon. It's how we keep the show going. Visit it, sign up today. Thank you for your continued support, Patreonos. All right, fellas. Let's get to it. This week's review, we will be looking at Ballerina, or the full title is From the World of John Wick, Ballerina. Here's your spoiler alerts.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
This is third release in a row. This is a little good run here. This is the 5th installment in the John Wick franchise. It's a spin-off, and it is set between the events of Chapter 3 and Chapter 4, kind of during John Wick 3 also. On Rotten Tomatoes, currently, Ballerina is sitting at 76% tomato meter, 93% popcorn meter, audience score, very high. Critic scores coming in the lowest of the Rotten Tomatoes from all the John Wicks. The highest being Chapter 4, John Wick 4, sitting at 94%. They made this movie for about $90 million. And let's talk about opening weekend. Doesn't do great. It was tracking $35 million opening weekend, but it only makes $25 million domestic. Opens at number 2 behind Lilo and Stitch. Worldwide, it's sitting at $51 million currently. So this is the lowest since the first John Wick opened at like 14 million. Then this one, 25 million. And then 2, 3, and 4 get bigger and bigger with each movie. In fact, each of the film series, we'll see how this one plays out, but each of the movies has consistently returned a 4x multiplier on its budget, making it one of the most profitable action franchises out there, which is fantastic.
I think this movie could have suffered from being in its release date or in the summer like that around all these other films.
Yeah.
I think this was the type of film that you probably want to release during non-summer. Go in February, go in March. Don't go in the summer when you're surrounded by all these other big budget movies.
Right, and more and kid-friendly movies and blockbuster movies. This one directed by Len Wiseman, who you may know from such things as the Total Recall reboot, the Underworld movies. He did a Die Hard, I think the 4th one. And lots of TV, and it's written by Shay Hatton. He wrote John Wick 4, but he does a lot with Zack Snyder. He wrote both parts of Rebel Moon, Army of the Dead, and Day Shift, which is interesting. Starring, of course, Ana de Armas as the titular ballerina Eve McCarroll.
Why did you emphasize tit right there?
Titular. It's a fun word to say, that's why.
Okay.
If it was a guy, I would have pronounced it the same.
Yeah, we know you.
Keanu Reeves in this movie as John Wick, returning Ian McShane as Winston, Angelica Houston as the director of the Roma Ruska. You have the late Lance Reddick in his final role on screen as concierge Sharon. It's a cameo by Norman Reedus, Gabriel Byrne playing the bad guy, the Chancellor. And a couple other people will discuss as we get into it. Anthony.
Yes.
What happens in this rated R 2-hour, 5-minute movie Ballerina?
Ballerina is set between John Wick 3 and 4 and goes into the Ruska Roma, I believe is called, and the ballerinas that you see in part 3. And one of those ballerinas, played by Ana de Armas, had her father killed in front of her by a cult. And she gets taken in by the Ruska Roma, trains to become an assassin, and then decides she wants to avenge her father's death and take down this cult.
Yeah.
That's it.
Kind of a straightforward revenge plot there, as this is a John Wick movie. I mean, what are you expecting? All right, let's start with you, Anthony. I don't know if you want to tell me about your theater experience, if there was anything notable, but at the end of the movie, how did you feel?
My theater experience? So I saw it at Alamo on a Thursday night. They showed...
Oh, yeah, what they showed before.
Old Japanese kung fu movie trailers with... Specifically with there was one that I think has made multiple movies with a female lead where it's a white girl.
Oh.
It's in the 80s and she's doing all this kung fu.
Oh.
I forget what franchise that was, but they showed a lot of those trailers. So it was fun.
That's fun.
Yeah. So but as far as the movie itself, I had somewhat low expectations because I heard a lot of this movie was reshot. And that tempered my expectations. Initially, I was really into just another John Wick spinoff. But then heard those reshoot rumors. But then, leading up to this movie, they released some buzz or a lot of the reviews came out, which were embargoed. And basically people were told you only say positive things. So that wasn't good. But then once the reviews came out, everyone was saying, hey, this is actually not bad. And that Stahelski, whatever he did, his role, this movie ended up turning out pretty good with the action. And I would have to agree. I walked out of that theater and I went, there are at least 4 to 5 action scenes that I can just rattle off and go, that was memorable, that was memorable, that was memorable. And while the plot is pretty straightforward and a bit, a little bit boring at times when they're just doing the regular story and not getting into the action, once they get into the action, and really, I think almost in that second act or in the second half of the movie, once Ana de Armas starts kicking into gear and hunting down all these people in the village, I thought the action was incredible. You see some shit that I've never seen before. I was oohing and awing at some of the hits these guys were taking. I was giggling with joy at some of especially the fire. Jesus Christ, that was amazing. So yeah, they crafted another really awesome action movie. I think Ana de Armas is good in the role. I think it's believable the way she fights. It's a little different than Wick. I like the anime style and the sets. You got iceberg lounge type thing. You got all sorts of different. You got them fighting in a gun shop. There's just all sorts of creative things, and we can get into those in a little bit. But I left the movie, and then the cherry on top is that you have these awesome action scenes, and then you end the movie, and the song comes on to end the movie, and I immediately pulled out my phone to Shazam what the song music, who was singing the song, and it's Evanescence.
Evanescence doing Fight Like a Girl, right?
Which is that's early 2000s Daredevil. Evanescence was awesome back then, and so it put me right back into that mode. So overall, I was just over the moon about another good action movie from this franchise. And I came in with low expectations, so
nice.
This cleared the bar very easily.
Yeah, the Evanescence kind of fits the tone of.
Oh, I thought that was the most cringiest thing I've ever heard.
Ruggs, let's get to you. Listen, you love this franchise. What'd you think coming out of this?
So, for once in my life, I went to the theater and there was nobody bothering me.
Thank fucking God! Finally,
Jesus.
But I could have used the rage because I was falling asleep through this movie.
Oh no!
I decided to try and get to a theater that no one was going to bother me, so I got a late show. And that was my downfall because by the time that second hour kicked in, I was like woozy trying to stay awake through this thing. I even got up at one point and paced around. In the area where before you walk into the theater, where you could still you're walking in,
but you can see the screen. Yeah, still.
Yeah, I was over there just pacing to try and get my
squats and fucking sit ups.
I was doing lunges. But so I was tired, so that did not help. But I thought the movie was decent. I didn't care about this character that much. I wish they could have done something more with her, but at the same time, it is a John Wick clone, so it's doing everything that maybe that's why, because they did it with John Wick already. So it's feels like, okay, we're just getting another John Wick type character, but I don't know. But the movie was good. The action scenes were good. They were memorable. Some of them were very interesting. The firefight with the flamethrowers were great.
Yeah.
And she looked like she did a lot of her stunts.
Yeah,
she did.
So I give her lots of credit for what she did. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty good movie. I enjoyed it. I don't know if it's the best movie I've seen. I don't think it's better than any of the John Wick movies.
Yeah.
I'm still at the bottom of the pack of those, but I think it's good. It's still good. It still has that same air of professionalism. So I thought it was good. It was a spectacle. I just was falling asleep.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was about, but I was really tired, I guess.
Yeah. I also, at the end, I had a really good time with this movie, despite the thin, sometimes confusing, contrived plot where she just finds the information she needs at the time. Whatever. I don't go to a John Wick movie for the plot. I go for the action, and the action absolutely delivered. I was not expecting so many fucking action scenes. Just nonstop. There's no opening credits. They just drop you in. That starts a little slow at the flashback, but there is a fantastic fight scene in the beginning. But overall, Thought it was stylish, fun. Ana de Armas, absolutely. She can hold her own. You can see she's put in the work. And it's a good start for her if she really wants to get into it. Yeah, I appreciated the long takes. Compared to the editing in the Karate Kid Legends, those fight scenes, the difference.
Oh my God, it's night and day.
The difference, there's like they hold the camera, you can see everything. You can see that it's her. It's so good. A brilliant use of her environment throughout this whole movie, which is kind of what gives Eve, her thing is she'll just grab whatever's around. We'll talk about that. But I will say, I don't think I've ever seen a flamethrower gun battle. I was like, holy shit, this is new.
A flamethrower fire hose gun battle.
Yes, and fire hose. So while they didn't reinvent the John Wick, they added something I'd never seen before. But I love the world building of the Continental and the John Wick universe. It absolutely feels like a cousin, like it's related, like it's in the same universe. And just the right amount of Keanu. He doesn't overshadow her, but he's in there enough to make it fun.
There's literally no reason for him to be in the movie.
Make it interesting. I thought it was the perfect amount of Keanu. What did you guys think about the amount of Keanu?
Well, we heard Ruggs. He doesn't think she should be in the movie. I know why they put him in, because they wanted to build up a little bit more hype for this movie.
Yeah.
I actually felt like I kind of leaned towards Ruggs. I wasn't mad to see him.
Yeah.
And I don't mind seeing him, but I did feel almost as if that kind of takes away from the movie a little bit, because the action and it to their credit, they actually build up the action and the storyline so much that you go, I don't need this like detour to John Wick. And even like their fight scene is fine.
Yeah.
But it doesn't live up till later on. I mean, when they're shooting the fucking fire,
right.
I mean, and the plates and the ice skates and the grenades and all those things. I mean, those are all better. So I was kind of in the middle on it. I didn't really know that they actually needed that.
I mean, I kind of like the tie-in. I like that moment she sees him is from John Wick 3, when he visits, and that he's kind of, she looks up to him, whatever she wants to do. So I thought it was enough, and he doesn't overshadow. And they fight, and she doesn't win, which I think is the correct thing. Like, I don't think she could beat John Wick, but she's up there with him in terms of taking care of herself. Yeah, I don't know. We can. What do you want to go through? Because the amount of different weapons that she uses in this movie is amazing, and they're each great and used thoughtfully.
I think what the movie does a good job of, I mean, you can go into specifics here, but overview of it is, I think in the beginning there you get dropped into a fight scene, and her first few missions when she's not clearly going for this cult, I did feel like they were okay.
Yeah.
And then it feels like to me the second half of the movie, once they get the scene that I thought it really starts to kick in the gears when she goes to the gun shop.
Oh yeah.
And then she's trying to find like get out and like going into different rooms and finding different weapons. And that's for me when it kicks into gear. And if I had to guess, this is just pure speculation, I feel like that's when Stahelski's stuff comes in, because that's when it really starts to build. And then those fight scenes start to stack on one another.
Yeah.
And you get that John Wick framing where they're inspired by anime. They want these like very sharp colors. Everything is well composited. And even if this isn't, like you mentioned, Imran, even though this might be on the lower end of John Wick films, the bar they have for action is still miles better than mostly anything you'll get in the US.
I mean, just the training everybody goes through alone clearly comes across. That scene is great because it also subverts the thing. Usually in the John Wick movie, he goes to the weapons guy. It's all very, glorified, and they choose weapons. But in this one, right in the middle, they're fucking attacked. And she's got to fucking shoot her way out of it. And I was like, I wasn't expecting that either. That's different.
Oh, and shout out to the club scene prior to that, too. I'll give them credit. Them fighting on, like, in an ice-themed club.
Yes.
Beautiful. Just the way they think about this stuff. I mean, I feel like they go, okay, what's a cool setting or what's a thing that we can utilize as a prop, and then let's just get a fight scene around that.
So remind me, because it all kind of does blend together. So the nightclub, she's wearing that dress. She looks fantastic.
Right.
She has the gun with the rubber bullets.
Right.
So she's kind of, I read this, they were talking about how she's kind of punching with bullets. That's a great scene. But then does that lead into where the ice skates and the ice surface is?
No, the ice
That's
skate
different.
stuff is later on.
Oh,
It's
wow.
more in the third act.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's so many that it blends in. I mean, I'll even give credit back to the beginning, the flashback, her father fighting off all those dudes. That dude was like, this dude's a fucking badass.
Well, she gotta be.
Yeah. That, you know who that played? That's David Castaneda, who was Diego from Umbrella Academy.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
who
no
he was.
shit.
Yeah. And I was like, this guy's a fucking badass. I love the way he fights. And then Winston shows up and takes her to Riscaroma. And then you get like the training montage is great. Like the little details about the director making her dance until her toes bleed. And then she's just like, again, and you see her fall over and over
When does
again.
that dancing come in? They should have had a
No,
dancing.
I
scene.
know there was no dance fighting. Like she's barely, you never see her dance really as ballerina. She's just,
I mean, the
think it's
movie's
just-
called Ballerina.
Right.
It should have had a
Yes.
ballerina scene, other
Yeah.
than her falling. That's another thing. I
you
don't
know
like.
what? It's just, you just need it in the beginning. It's fine. I want to see her fucking kick the shit out of people.
It would have been cool, like that. One of her first missions was a ballerina fucking mission.
She's got to infiltrate as a ballerina.
Yeah, or something where she uses her dancing.
What do you
to
guys
kick
think of the Kikimora? Kind of like
Who?
the Kikimora spirit that the Roma Ruska. It's kind of like a female Baba Yaga. Where
I honestly didn't even catch that.
They didn't even,
No.
yeah.
I like to use that. I use that soy sauce.
Kikimora, yeah. No, that's Kikomen soy sauce.
Oh,
Kikimora
I'm
soy
sorry.
sauce. I mean, they're trying to do like a female Baba Yaga. That leads right into, let's talk about this, the training and the fight speech. I thought this was kind of brilliant, even though she kind of does it later on, but she kind of forgets it. Where she's fighting and her coach is like, you're always going to be weaker. You're always going to be smaller. You need to fight. You need to cheat. You need to fight like a girl, which is where the fight like a girl comes in. Essentially meaning just kick dudes in the groin, which,
Yeah,
I mean,
Well, just-
aim for the nuts.
fair.
Well, fight dirty.
Fight
so
dirty.
You know you're not
Yeah.
stronger than any of these people. So you're gonna have to be more clever and dirtier, which you see, right?
You do
so
see that.
when she's fighting the one dude in the restaurant, I mean, she gouges out his eye.
Yes.
And then she like explodes him, right? Was
Yeah.
that it?
I think so. There's a whole
forget.
yeah, I know, because there's a whole
Because she blows up a few
she
people.
blows
I mean,
up
there's
so
one
many
where
people.
there's one where she puts the grenade in the guy's mouth.
Well, there's that whole scene where she has nothing but grenades, and
Yeah.
that's great. Yeah, she puts it in the mouth behind the door. She grabs the guy and like drops him over the table, and it explodes. And then there's
Right.
one hilarious scene where there's a guy he's hanging off the side of the building and he explodes,
Yep.
which is
Yep.
kind of fun. But that's an instance where if you just had grenades, what would you do? And she shows you.
Well, what's cool about the Wick franchise, and they do it here as well, is you can define every fight scene by just a prop or a setting. So
Yes.
you have the opening one, and then there's like a car chase one,
Yeah.
but then you have the ice skating one, the ice one at the club.
Yep.
Then you have the one in the armory with the grenades.
Yep.
Then you have one where she's battling someone with plates.
That one's hilarious and fantastic. Just plates smashing on each other's heads.
You have the restaurant one, and then you have the ice skating one as well, where she's using an ice skate.
Dude, she's using
And then the fire one.
the ice skate nunchucks was impressive, and I was like, that's gotta fucking hurt. Jesus
The movie
Christ.
could have used a chase scene, like a real down and out, like motorcycle
So
chase.
this is what
scene
I
and stuff.
think. I think like with Anna de Armas, they've trained her in the hand-to-hand combat and the shooting. Like unlike Keanu, where he was already riding horses, riding motorcycles, he's driving cars, he knows how to drift. I think if they keep this franchise going, they can slowly introduce some more of that and
But
train.
do you want to see another one of these movies with her?
I mean,
I wouldn't mind.
I
I
would-
wouldn't. I think it'd be. I think she proved herself.
I mean, she kicks ass. She seemed very badass. She's great to look at, and she's fucking stabbing and she's taping knives to a gun and stabbing and shooting him in the head. Come on,
Yeah, she makes the gun with she tapes the knife
that's
to her
great.
gun.
She fucking
I mean, you didn't get tickled. I mean, the first time she grabs that flamethrower and it shoots and they
Dude.
go overhead and it's
Yes.
just like. I'm like,
I was in
this
the
is
middle of doing
amazing.
squats in the theater. I was doing lunges.
The-
with
you
that
got to
one.
give this movie another chance. It isn't. I mean, the action is insane. Those fire scenes. I was literally giggling with so much happiness.
the
in the theater.
flamethrower scene. I was like, I have never seen this. And then I read a lot of the fire was practical stunts. Like that's a lot of people to safely set on fire at once. I always find it impressive. Clearly, it's super dangerous, but you could tell when it's fake, CGI, and real. That shit looked real. And then when she grabs the water hose and you have fire versus water, and she's screaming, she's just fucking yelling. She grunts a lot. It's fantastic. I love
the overhead shot of them coming together with the water and the fire. I'm just like, you'd never see. Like I've never seen.
I've never seen that. Exactly. I said the same thing. It reminded me of the John Wick 4 overhead kind of sequence, but beautifully shot. Again, the neon palette colors and the way everything's lit is just like a John Wick movie. But yes, I will give them. I've never seen fucking flamethrower shootout. That was amazing. That was fucking amazing.
I like this so much, Ruggs, that not only would I give this another film, another shot, I'd give her another movie, but I also was going, I can't wait for the Donnie Yen spinoff.
So, yes. What could we see? What about this?
I'm pretty sure, aren't they doing that? Aren't they doing a Donnie Yen
Donnie Yen is getting a spinoff. They're doing a anime prequel.
Okay, I'm out on the anime prequel.
Yeah. But could we see in John Wick 5 that they're working on maybe like a John Wick Avenger style team up where he finally takes down the high table, meaning you have John Wick, you have Eve, you have Kane, you have the tracker, Mr. Nobody from John Wick 4, and then we didn't even talk about Norman Reedus' character, Pine, whatever his name is.
Oh, yeah.
In this movie, great cameo. I thought he was pretty badass. It would be awesome to see them team up and try to take down the fucking high table.
Here's actually the only thing for me. I actually think they should just continue with the spinoffs. They won't, because John Wick is the moneymaker, so they're going to probably do a 5, if not, I think they are doing a 5. But I felt like John Wick 4 was Stahelski's magnum opus. I thought that was some of the best action I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he can top it. If there is anyone that could top it, it's probably him. But I felt like everything rounded out into a good place at where it went. They don't need to make any more of those.
Is Rina Sawayama dead?
Who?
The one from John Wick 4, the girl.
The girl. Wait.
Yeah, the Japanese girl.
Oh, did she die? Yeah, she was with Hiroyuki Sanada,
because
right?
that would be a cool movie to team her up with Ballerina.
I don't think she was injured. I don't think she dies in that movie. I think she gets injured and he leaves after that whole sequence. I was just watching it recently, actually.
Yeah, I don't remember the plot of any of them.
I also forgot they do the whole fucking Warriors thing in John Wick 4. Remember that with the radio and the boppers? Okay, boppers, here's where John is now.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, I forgot they did this in that movie. And he kills the Marquis at the end. It's great. But here's the question, because Chad Stahelski is he is the John Wick guy. He has been tasked with the reins to the franchise. His job now is to kind of continue this franchise, possibly without Keanu. Is that possible? Does Ballerina prove that maybe it is possible?
Well, you want to know what they do that kind of shoots themselves in the foot? Is that so? You got John Wick. He's the big heavy hitter of all assassins. They've already unleashed all of the top people to try and kill him already.
Yeah,
and so it feels like if they bring up another, where does this motherfucker come from? Like, why wasn't he trying to kill John Wick? So they have to kind of bring some up that's brand new, that maybe wasn't around when John Wick was being when everybody had let all their top guys try and kill him. So you need to kind of create a new character like that. And I think Ballerina, you got one there. But I don't know if she can carry the whole thing on her own. I think you need a male counterpart. I really do think that you need someone cool, someone that could be the next guy. That's that swagger.
Well,
and I don't think that using the guy from Walking Dead is going to be he's an old guy too. Mm-hmm. You need somebody with moves. You need somebody who can fucking do that shit for real. So I don't know. They need to introduce a young blood in there.
I mean, I think Jane Wick she has established her credit in this movie enough to.
You called her Jane Wick.
It's John Wick Light. It's Jane Wick essentially. So as far as her, Keanu has this weird, cold kind of demeanor, and she is not like
she's
that.
the protector.
She's the protector. She's
Kikoman. So she's
Kikimora.
Yeah,
Kikimon,
whatever.
soy sauce. Yeah.
She's low sodium, but she's not the same as Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga is all about killing. She's about protecting.
Yeah.
Killing to protect other
There's
people.
a lot about choices in this movie. They mention choice. You could still choose a lot. But look at the back tattoos. Like, I think this is also tells a lot about the character. They have similar back tattoos. John Wick's Latin says fortuna eduvat, which is fortune favors the bold. Hers is lux in tenebris, which is light in darkness, which I think was interesting. So she's the light to his darkness, maybe.
Well, she isn't as, he's got that Keanu Reeves swagger that only Keanu Reeves has, where when she fights, she's yelling, she's leaning into the fact that she's a little bit more fighting with rage.
Yeah.
I think one of the things, too, that they've opened up with this is you've introduced this cult.
Yes.
And it's clear she hasn't, she didn't kill everybody.
Yeah.
She killed a lot of people and she killed the leader, but this cult, if they want to bring this cult back and have them come back at her or even John Wick, because Johnny Boy was supposed to kill her and he didn't.
But he prevented the war, and the director was okay with this.
Yeah.
But that whole town was hilarious. So that everybody is a cult member, and everyone was just trying to kill him.
That was funny too. That they go and get the kids out of there, but then they come back with
guns. Yeah, like she's sitting in that diner, and that guy just walks in and starts shooting at her. So at times I was like, I don't know why everybody's shooting at each other, but whatever. It's cool. I'm here. I'm here for it. Because she's trying to find them, but they're also trying to find her and kill her at the same time. Whatever. I don't know. I did appreciate how she got her ass kicked a lot in this movie, as well as kicked ass. Like, she was thrown through.
Oh yeah, she
many
gets.
things.
I mean, she's throwing through glass a few times,
Yeah.
and I mean, she definitely. That was the one thing I wrote down is, and John Wick takes a lot of punishment too, so I would say the same thing.
Yeah.
But she takes some punishment. I'm like, there's no way she's getting up after some of this.
I know. And she's got some scratches, but she seemed to come out fine. But John Wick's the same way. And I was also similarly by the end, like the scenes are so repetitive that you're exhausted, not in a bad way. Like you were in a fight, you were in all these fights. So,
well, John Wick's been doing that. The John Wick franchise has been really beating you over the head with these scenes. Like, they're a little long, they're a little indulgent.
Just keeps going and going.
And they keep going and going.
Great,
so, it's cool. I mean, that's what people are coming to see. That's what they're paying for. So
to address, what were the rumors that like Stahelski stepped in and finished the movie?
Apparently, Len Wiseman, obviously he directed the film, and they said that the action just needed to be punched up. And there's conflicting reports if it was like the action needed to be punched up, or they needed to redo everything, or if they needed to add it on, just punch up the plot a little bit more. And apparently, Stahelski came in and did months of reshoots, either reshoots or adding on to the movie. We don't.
I
really
heard that
know.
Len Wiseman was supposed to do the reshoots, but he got a tummy ache.
That's what I was going to say. What I read from the Len Wiseman interview, he said he got sick, and Chad had to step in to direct the reshoots just because he was ill or from something.
I mean, if you're gonna do John Wick, no offense to Len Wiseman, but
you need Chad.
You need Chad. Len Wiseman is an okay action director, but to get to the level of what John Wick needs to be, there's only one guy.
Because it needed to match, just like you said, right? It needed to match the level of the John Wick movies, and I think they achieved that with bringing Chad.
I mean, that was the problem. I only watched maybe a couple minutes, but I mean, that was the problem with the Continental. No one felt like it matched what you saw in John Wick.
Well, and Chad, in an interview, Chad Stahelski threw those people under the bus, and he was like, we gave them some notes, but they didn't listen to us, and they didn't really involve us, is what he said about the Continental. It wasn't bad, but we just had nobody in there.
Does this movie, because this movie could have gone south. This movie could have not been good. It could have been forgettable. Does this reestablish your faith in the Highlander movie that they're making?
Oh, God. Oh, it is Chad. Yeah.
How much money does he need again to do
But
Highlander?
he's asking
$200 million.
Look, he made this movie was $90 million. You don't need $185 million to make Highlander. He's just asking for too much money. I don't know what that's about.
This Highlander better be the fucking best movie I've ever seen.
Stahelski, here's the thing. If money was not an object and you want to do action, like Stahelski is the guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, the 185 or whatever it was, whatever that number was, which we all were flabbergasted for Highlander, it's way too high. And yeah, I mean, this is 90, like you said, Imran.
Yeah.
How could Highlander be more?
Well, if they would have thrown a legit chase scene in this movie,
Yeah.
like I'm not talking about Tom Cruise level chase scene because they're not going to do that. But if they're going to do like a legit chase scene in this movie, that would have added at least another like $20 million.
No, but I think now you have something to build up to because you had to set her up and you had to establish her hand to hand and shooting and with all these things. And I mean, she uses a remote control at one point. It's fucking crazy.
You brought up Tom Cruise. I think this is a good question because we did review a Tom Cruise movie 2 weeks ago. Was it 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
I forget.
Yeah.
What do you prefer? Do you prefer the big Tom Cruise stunt action or this kind of action?
I'm kind of mad that they didn't do a movie together.
I know. They're both. Oh man, they're both good. I feel like with this action, you get more of it because of the nature of it.
Yeah.
And with that action, sure, it's only 2 scenes, but they're 2 of the fucking craziest scenes you're ever going to see.
Well, yeah, it's a different kind of thing because, yeah, Tom Cruise's movies are kind of like there's these set pieces and they're these big kind of complicated edge of your seat, drama inducing scenes. These kind of lull you into a hypnotic state of just watching people get their ass kicked.
Yeah, there's a rhythm to these that it's like music almost. You know, This one doesn't get quite as balletic maybe as the John Wicks, but it's definitely close.
It reminds me a lot of like The Raid. It was like
this one, yes, and I think he was not inspired by The Raid.
Yeah, definitely like Raid-esque or The Night Comes for Us or any of those movies, even The Raid 2, where it's just these like long battle sequences, long like fight scenes.
But the similarity is both Tom Cruise, Keanu, and even Ana de Armas, you see them doing their stunts, which is what makes it
that
special.
matters.
Yes.
That does matter. Well, the thing is with like The Raid or Night Comes for Us or any of those movies, and don't get me wrong, I love The Raid. I think it's great. But these movies just look a lot better.
We just saw the one movie that he did for Netflix that was so fucking boring and not fun at all.
It was really surprising how
Gareth Evans.
Yes, Havoc was not that great. Too much like CG reliance on maybe these CG scenes. I don't know.
No, that movie was completely forgettable.
Yeah.
This one's got a lot more going for it as far as
with the story. The story is like muddy because there's the whole thing with her sister. That girl was her sister, and like Norman Reedus was the Chancellor's son, and that girl is his granddaughter. And what were they doing? They're just kidnapping kids to train them. I don't know. Gabriel Byrne was an okay bad guy, though. I thought he makes a good bad guy.
Yeah, I didn't really understand. And then they kill her father in the beginning, but I don't know why they didn't take her. Like it was all.
They took the sister.
It was all.
Not her.
It was all a little confusing for me.
Yes.
But
it doesn't matter.
I didn't care.
No.
Once the fire came out, I was like, "This." I'm just so over the moon about this.
And I love even John coming back and helping her out. Of course, you knew that was going to happen, and then he's going to fight them off. So where we end off is she does corner.
She kills the leader of the cult.
Yeah, she corners the Chancellor and the kid, and he tries to recruit her, but she kills him. She rescues the kid. And then John Wick tells the director the Chancellor is dead. War has been averted. The war is off. And then the kid reunites with Norman Reedus. And now Eve, there's a bounty on Eve for what was it, like $5 million? Mm-hmm. And she's at the theater and she goes out the back ready to, I don't know what, take on another job or find her place or just avoid getting fucking killed because there's a bounty on her.
I liked when, I don't know if I forget exactly how the order of events, but Wick either calls the Roma Ruska leader, the lady, or she calls him.
Yeah.
And she goes, "She's dead." And he just responds, "He's dead."
Yeah. Yeah.
Very economic line right there.
You could get a John Wick in there too. Was one of his lines. Yeah.
Keanu Reeves is just,
I mean,
he's taken his lack of range and
Yeah.
just made it his thing.
And made it his
He's
strong
like,
point. Yes.
All right, I want to say like no words.
Yeah. Well,
Can I
but that's
do
the
that?
thing is like she didn't have a lot of dialogue, so they were kind of trying to do that with her also, but she doesn't have a thing like he has a thing. So
Well, she's also, I mean, Anna de Armas is actually a much better actress than
that's
Keanu
that's
Reeves.
true.
She's been nominated for
That's true.
Oscars.
She did play
Keanu Reeves might have gotten like Best Kiss at an MTV Movie Award or something.
Yeah, the MTV Movie Awards loved him. But yeah, what else? Overall, fantastic. Any other things you want to mention before you final thoughts? Rate it.
No, I think we can rate
Right.
it.
I think we're in a good place.
Anthony, give me a number and where you put it amongst the John Wicks.
I had it. I believe I had it. Let me just double check my letterboxd here. I had this movie as a 7.5, 7.5.
Yeah.
Very solid entry into the franchise. Rating it amongst the John Wicks, I have 4 as probably the best one, and then 1 next.
Yeah.
2 and 3, I get confused, but I think 3's storyline, I actually watched a review. 3's storyline is like even worse than this, where he's on the run.
Yeah.
And then the movie ends and he's still just on the run.
Yeah.
Like nothing has really changed.
Cut his finger off. That was different.
It's just an excuse for action, and that's similar to what this movie is.
Oh,
At
yeah.
least this movie though has a ending, like a beginning and an ending, where you're like, okay, she's in a different place
Yeah.
now.
Right.
And even though it's not like the most compelling stuff, I actually think I would probably rank this above 3. So yeah, 7.5. But all the John Wick movies, if
Yeah.
you're looking for beautiful action, balleretic or magnetic, whatever you want
balletic,
to,
yes.
balletic, however you want to describe it, they've unlocked the code. I mean, those things are just. I'm all in awe every time I watch those movies. And while it can be a little bit repetitive at times, I like that the high bar that they set, and the fact that they keep coming up with new things to show me where I'm like, I've never seen that.
Yeah. Ruggs, what about you?
I think for a movie called Ballerina, they should have had more ballerina stuff
Should
in
have
there.
been more dancing.
There should have been a chase scene.
She barely wears a tutu.
But you got Anna de Armas, who's a good actress. You can do a lot with her. You can do a lot besides the stunts and the action scenes. Now, I was tired. I didn't have as much. I wasn't as locked in as I could have been. But I did feel it was a little repetitive. But I'd give it a solid 7. In the span of John Wick movies, I think this is it's in the conversation for like being not at the bottom.
Yeah.
It's probably tied with them, with the other movies.
Yeah.
I think it's a good step in the right direction for a spinoff. It's like, I don't hate it. I don't know if it's doing well right now in the box office, but I think more people should go see it.
Yeah.
If they're into John Wick, you should probably give it a chance.
Yeah, I've gotten people into John Wick at work and stuff slowly. It's a lot of fun when they discover this. No, I had a really good time, man. And the fact that they were able to make it feel like a John Wick movie, give me the John Wickness, and then just give me something I'd never seen. Flamethrower gun battle alone makes me want to give it an 8. I'm giving it a fucking 8. The story is whatever, but the amount of scenes and the quality of them really impressed me. The different weapons were great, and like you said, They gave me John Wick and then topped it with something new. So like that's why I go see these movies. Just like Mission Impossible is like, what else are they gonna do?
If you're Anna de Armas, why do you want to do this movie?
Ooh, to become a legit action star would be the reason, I would think. And I think she's getting close. I mean, she was in No Time to Die. She does action on some of those Netflix movies, Gray Man. Does she want to be an action star?
That's what I'm saying. Like, she's not a legitimate actress. She's got good looks.
Somebody said like 10 years ago you could have put like Charlize Theron in this, and
well, she did Atomic Blonde, which was
is
basically
very,
Jane Wick.
Yes, similar.
Which is a great movie. You haven't seen, you should watch.
But I agree. If you like John Wick movies, you got to watch this. It is as good as those. And I think I love 4. I love 1, but I would tie it with. They're all good. They're all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's good. Good job, Anna Darmus.
The Halsey brand is strong.
Yeah, he's got, so we'll see where the future leads because he's got to keep milk this franchise. He's not dead. I don't think he's dead. We saw him collapse. That was it. They can write around it. It'll be great. Let's do some news from the nation. It's time for news from the nation. It's time for news from the nation.
It stinks. It stinks. It stinks.
I got one comment from listener Jamie Robinson, who also is the host of the Mr. Throwback Thursday podcast. He says, it was everything I wanted from the world of John Wick and a synchronized flamethrower routine. When you see Eve dancing with bloody feet and falling down, and you know the next word you're going to hear is again, you know they've tied the movies together well. For the average moviegoers, my wife, in parentheses, the fight scenes do go a bit long sometimes. How many plates did they really need to alternate smashing over each other's head? The one shot of her killing all the guys with the samurai sword was well done, though. A bloody good time. And great use of hand grenades. Yeah, great use of hand grenades, flamethrowers. She's amazing with that sword. I just love when she just grabs like a pole or whatever's nearby. She just starts fucking people up with them. Oh, the ice skates. Oh, so good.
That's why they were playing all those Cynthia Rothrock trailers in the beginning, because they're kind of saying like she's going to be the next action star, I guess.
I mean, I feel like she's positioning herself to slide in there, and she's definitely in the conversation now.
Evanescence, baby.
With Uncle John Wick.
I did think that song was corny. I have to say that again.
I love it. Is that a new song?
I cringed. I cringed when I heard "Fight Like a Girl." Yeah. I was like, "Ooh."
Yeah.
So,
okay, let's do some. What are we watching? And for as many times as I've done this segment, this is the first time I think that Anthony has the most things to discuss about, which is fucking crazy.
Oh, I have something.
You have something?
Yeah, but I'll talk about it.
Well, wait, Anthony, take us through your week here and some of the Patreon.
We should start
things.
with you, though.
Yes.
I took you to see Stand By Me.
That was our big date at the Alamo Drafthouse in Wrigleyville. Stand By Me. Anthony asked me, and I knew the minute he asked me, some girl bailed on him, and that's exactly what happened.
That's right.
So I get the call now. I'd never been to the Alamo, and I wanted to go for a long time, so I was like, you know what, this is a great reason, an excuse for me to go see it. I'd never seen an old movie in the theater. So I had a great time, man. I wish they would make one out here in the suburbs. It is a different movie-going experience than your AMC. It's curated. It's very elevated. Like you feel everyone in the theater, obviously Stand By Me, they were there because they had a connection to the movie. They love the movie. And you feel that. And Ruggs, the most dangerous thing is this fucking menu at this place, because the whole time there's a little table with a little button and a pen and paper in this menu and a little light. You could just write shit down and then they will bring you food. You might get some sticker shock at the end of it. But I was like, I could just keep writing shit down and they'll just bring me food. I had the loaded fries.
Like, I'm trying to imagine Imran at the Alamo. Like great. Him, you know how he freaks out and gets excited about things?
Yeah.
And was he doing that?
He was. Or
was he on good behavior?
He was on good behavior for the most part. He was freaking out a little bit about the posters.
There was a Spider-Man poster from the 70s show. It was great. Yeah. They had really fun posters, VHS tapes, DVD rentals. They were playing this video in the lobby. It was like an 80s how to dance instructional video. And they're showing you like the Cabbage Patch and the Running Man. It was hilarious with like graffiti.
Did you break out in the Running Man in the middle of the theater?
They did it in slow motion, so I could follow along. The only bad thing, Anthony, was what?
I bought us front row seats because that was all that was available, and they was not the best viewing angle of the movie.
It was all right. You never want to sit in the front row. We were off to the side. It wasn't like all the way close, but you got used to it. Now, as far as the movie, I hadn't seen this movie in a few years, and watching it again, this is a fucking perfect movie.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change a fucking thing. It's so good. It's so heartfelt, simple journey with tons of great little character moments.
That's all character.
It's
that
all,
movie's all
it's everything from the very beginning is character.
Yeah, I agree. That was the first time I've watched it in a while, but upon rewatch, I thought it was agreed perfect movie. And the real standouts for me were River Phoenix,
Yeah.
who plays the best friend. I forget his name.
Chris. Was it Chris?
Chris, yeah. And it's too bad that kid died.
Yeah.
And then Vern, I didn't realize that was
Vern is
Jerry
great.
O'Connell.
Yeah. Chubby
He's
little-
amazing in that movie.
Chubby little Jerry O'Connell. You guys, I brought a comb. He brought the comb. Vern's great. I mean, Ruggs, iconic moments, right? Them running across the train to dodge the train on the bridge.
Chopper sick balls.
Chopper sick balls. That is the best thing. Like, I always remember Chopper sick balls. The lard ass story.
The lard ass story is
Boom
great.
baba, boom baba. And it's still so gross. The sounds, the way they show it.
One of the lines I caught in this one that I didn't remember in the first time I'd seen it is when they're in the junkyard and the lard sick balls and the junkyard guy starts giving shit to Corey Feldman's character and starts making fun of his dad.
Yeah.
And then Corey Feldman's character gets so mad that he goes, "I'm going to rip your head off and shit down your neck."
It's a great line. It's a great line. There's tons of great lines in there. And I mean, it's universal. It's such a timeless movie. It's timeless.
Yeah, very timeless.
It's so good.
It's a movie that you could throw on, and it's set, it's came out in the 80s, but it's set in 1959. But I mean, that line at the end where it's like something along the lines of, do you ever have friends like you had when you were 12?
Yeah.
And there's literally, I mean, anyone can relate to that, right? Like the friendships you have when you're a kid before you start to like get horny and start wanting girls, especially as a boy or other men, if that's what what floats your boat. Like those friendships before that, where those things didn't matter, and you talk about stupid shit. Like people still remember those friendships to those days, but no one's really ever friends with those kids anymore.
Oh yeah. But you always had there was the crazy guy, there was the tough guy from a bad family, there was like the chubby kid that got made fun of. He made do everything. Even that conversation where they're like, if Mickey's a mouse and Pluto's a dog, what the fuck is Goofy? And they're like, yeah, what the hell is Goofy?
But those are like times in your life where I can remember like just days of hanging out with my friends.
Yeah.
Whereas now, those types of things are a little bit more fleeting. So yeah, it's very timeless.
These kids were they were gone for like 2 days, and the parents had no idea where they were. They just were out fucking.
When kids from today grow up, they're gonna remember the time we were on Minecraft together.
We both got that Nintendo Switch. Yeah, it's sad.
Remember when we went to go see that dead body, though?
Yeah, you guys want to see a dead body? Like, what a simple thing. It's so good.
We used to hang out by the train tracks. Is that where you find porn?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You just dump them on the tracks.
I don't know why the train tracks and porn went together.
Best train dodge ever. Vern is crawling, and he's just like, oh my god. Okay, so that was Wednesday at the Alamo. Thursday at the Alamo, you saw Ballerina. And then did you go back Friday?
And then I went back Friday, and I went and saw the new Wes Anderson movie, The Phoenician Scheme.
Oh shit!
Which is the first time I've ever seen a Wes Anderson movie. I think you would consider this a comedy.
Yeah,
it's kind of an absurd comedy. It was all right.
Yeah, he's weird movies. He makes some.
He makes weird stuff. I appreciate that how much freedom he gets to do what he wants, and it is very well shot for the things he's wanting to do and what he's wanting to accomplish. I don't completely jive with his humor or his plot, but there is a really funny 2-on-2 basketball scene between the lead characters and Tom Hanks and Bryan Cranston where I was just dying laughing.
I saw that in the trailer. It looks so strange.
Yeah, it's a very strange movie. I don't think it's as out there as maybe some of his other stuff. It might be a little bit more palatable to some people. I just didn't completely vibe with it, but I'm glad to have seen a Wes Anderson movie.
Yeah, I mean, you watch the trailer and like he is almost like a parody of himself. Like, you know what you're getting into? These like wide shots, pastel colors, one character just in the middle of the frame staring at the camera.
Right.
And just like quirky things, like him finding a dynamite and going, was I supposed to take this? Was this supposed to be there? Just like weird shit like that. But
yeah, there's a running gag throughout that he has a box full of grenades and he keeps offering like, hey, do you want a hand grenade? Hey, do you want a hand grenade?
It's just so weird.
Yeah.
I think you should watch Rushmore. I feel, Ruggs, would you agree that's maybe its most like accessible, like normal-ish?
Oh, Rushmore is definitely probably the easiest one to watch, but
it's real funny.
I love the Royal Tenenbaums. I like Moonrise Kingdom.
Well, yeah, he's got just Isle of Dogs, Grand Budapest. He's got all these crazy movies.
Yeah, they're all unique, slow moving films. He just had one that came out on about Atomic City or something.
Asteroid City, yeah.
Asteroid
Yeah,
City.
yeah.
I watched that. That was interesting.
Yeah. Okay. And then you put in another Patreon review.
I put in one last minute,
Yeah,
correct,
yeah.
before the show.
Yeah.
So because I've been going to the Alamo, I've been getting ads for this movie by Celine Song called Materialists, and it looks like a throwback 2000s rom-com starring Dakota Johnson, Pedro Pascal, and Chris Evans.
Pedro's and everything. Oh, and Chris Evans.
So I was like, well, let me see what this director's done. And she did this movie called Past Lives, which was nominated for an Oscar, Oscars 2 years ago, and has a lot of heavy praise. And it was her directorial debut. So it was on Netflix. I threw it on. And I liked this movie too. It's completely different than anything else I saw this week.
Yeah.
It's basically a romantic drama about these two Korean people. One moves to the US and they had a childhood friendship / romantic relationship when they were 12, and then they reconnect with each other every 12 years. And by the time they reconnect in the third act, she has a husband and he's visiting her. And it's just this three-way love triangle thing by A24. So it was actually pretty good. It's not like a big, you would imagine a three-way love triangle thing would be this big movie, not big, but very over the top scenes and yelling and screaming and fighting. And this one's a lot more quiet, which I appreciated. But the end is oh my gosh, this is tough. So it was pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, I heard about this.
I watched it to pump myself up for this Materialist movie, and I think it did a good job.
And you're going to watch Materialist too? Yeah.
Either this week or next week. Yeah, I'll probably watch it.
You know what movie I hear a lot of people talking about that it's supposed to be a really fucked up movie is Bring Her Back.
Oh,
I've heard this. I have heard this, that one of my coworkers said it is not an enjoyable movie to sit through.
Some people did not like it, I heard also.
Yeah.
But it's being put up there as one of the best new horror movies.
Yeah, so
Bring Her Back. Yeah. Ruggs, what'd you watch?
I did not watch that.
Okay.
I watched Predator Killer of Killers.
Oh, me too.
Are we talking about that this week, or are we reviewing it?
Well, I did a little instant reaction for Patreon. I think we should review it next week.
All right.
What do you think?
I thought it was good.
I thought it was good too. I kind of want to talk about it. I
enjoyed it.
I think Anthony will dig it.
Oh, you should check it out. Yeah.
Then let's save. If we don't have anything,
we don't have anything. It is
call it right now and watch it for next week.
All right, we're doing Predator Killer or Killers.
I also watched Accountant 2.
Oh, you did.
What did you think of that?
That's on streaming now. Yeah.
It just came out on Prime. I watched it. It was all right.
Yeah.
It was all right.
The first
Have you seen the first one?
It's more of a comedy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have you seen the first one?
Yeah, I saw the first one.
Okay.
The first one's more badass, I believe. This one is more of a comedy because it's about him and his brother.
Bernthal and Affleck, right? Buddy comedy.
Yeah, it's got a lot more comedic moments, but it's a decent watch. It's like a couple of rungs higher than a Frank Grillo movie. So
okay, yeah, I saw that. That came out on Amazon. The first one I liked. Okay, I might check this one out.
I think the first one's got more action in it, and it's a little bit more serious, and this one's a little bit more lighthearted.
I'm surprised they made a second one.
And it's fun, because it's got this comedic aspect to it. So it makes it more fun, I guess. Yeah. But the action's not as badass, I don't think.
All right. Anything else?
They softened it a little bit. I think that's it.
I got one thing I want to mention. I did it finally last night. Finally did it. I whipped it out.
Penis?
No. Wicked on Peacock.
Oh.
On the cock. So it was on the cock, technically. I whipped out the cock and I watched fucking Wicked because the trailer for the second one came out. And every time I see it on Peacock, I'm like, I should watch this. And then I just skip past it for some reason. And so finally I was like, fuck it. I'm going to watch it. And you know what? It's pretty good. It's just exactly what everybody said. It's a old school, lavish, practical set production, lots of choreography, lots of dancers, lots of extras.
I found it to be very forgettable.
I mean, it's interesting. It's in the story. The first half they're telling of the Elphaba and Glinda, and basically, I'm not sure. Are we supposed to hate Glinda? Because I kind of do after watching this. And
Yeah.
they're just really,
They're flipping it like Karate Kid.
Yeah, her and her friends were really mean, and Elphaba was just trying to help, and it's not her fault any of this happened, and the wizard's a liar, and he's kind of thrown her on the bus, made her the villain.
It just doesn't make sense, though. Like, when you see the character in Wizard of Oz, like,
Yeah.
she's a huge asshole.
How does this happen? Will it happen in the next part?
No.
And
it
they're
won't.
best friends, and she's like throwing her under the bus, but I thought you guys were best friends.
She never becomes wicked. That's the part of it that I don't get. They just, it's just, I
doesn't
feel like
become
I
wicked.
feel like this whole
Interesting.
movie is stupid.
So that whole subplot with the talking animals, though, I thought that was kind of interesting. I was like, "The fuck's going on?"
You
here?
would.
And also how the monkeys got wings, how the flying monkeys were made was kind of interesting. And the singing is great, and Ariana Grande is cute, and when she giggles, it's fine. It's good. It's good. A lot of work went into it. Clearly, you can tell.
No, I think it's solid if you want that type of shit.
Like all
I think
those.
for that type of movie, I think it's
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah,
They
it
did
is I mean, even the credits, it's like an old school Hollywood musical, which was, it's kind of fun. It's good. And then I watched the trailer for the second movie, so I was like, oh, I see sort of what's going to happen. There's a little more Wizard of Oz stuff in that one, but.
Oh, I did watch something else. I forgot.
What's that?
I finished Blood of Zeus,
Oh, yeah.
which is I don't know how many seasons they have of that, but I think we're in the third or fourth. But this one, they released Cronus.
Oh.
So Cronus, if you don't know who he is, he's one of the Titans, one of the father of Zeus. And he comes back and he's trying to fucking kill all the gods. And so they got to like team up together to fucking free Zeus and kick Cronus's ass. And it's pretty epic. And if you like anime, it's on Netflix.
Oh, that's on Netflix. Yeah. 3 seasons.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Blood of
Not great.
Zeus.
Not great. I wouldn't say it's great, but
Okay.
I think it's definitely solid.
Okay. All right. Well, now we got our mission for next week, everyone. Predator, Killer of Killers, animated on Hulu.
Definitely, I think you should watch it if you haven't watched it.
Watch it before, and we will talk about it next week. Ruggs, where can the listener find you online?
Rug Boy Show on Twitter.
Got a link in the episode description. Anthony, how many times are you going to be at the Alamo this week?
I don't
17.
know. Maybe not at all.
Oh,
Let's see.
Okay.
I got to I got to check my schedule.
Are people recognizing you yet? Are you like a regular? Or they're like, oh, this guy.
No, they don't. They don't recognize me yet.
Come on. You've been going there so long. You got to make friends with them. I don't know.
You should like wear like a signature thing every time that you go. Like
You buy one of their T-shirts and just wear
like a headband
headband and dark shades. Just
or a visor.
Yeah,
Like,
visor.
go be a visor guy.
I was thinking more like a mesh clothing type thing where you can see my
fingerless
nipples.
gloves?
Yes. They'll be like, there's that asshole with the see-through top again.
Right.
But they'll remember you. That's the point.
That's right.
Yes. So be memorable, listener. That's this week's lesson. Thank you for listening to the Jock and Nerd podcast. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's a nerd.
We'll beep you next time.
I'll send you some rainbow suspenders.
My balls was hot. Fuck's sake, man, you're amateur.
Oh, remember this one?
Somebody touch my spaghetti.
There you go.
I'll do that.
Jock and Nerd.